Color is here, and if you guys are on the fence as to which one suits you better, a color e-ink smartphone or a color e-reader, this is the video for you. This is Peter with GoodEreader.com, and this is one of the first times pretty much ever two color devices that are available have been compared to each other. This is the same shot. These are real devices. This is the Hisense A5C color e-ink smartphone, and this is the iReader C6, the world's first mainstream color e-reader. What one is right for you? Well, obviously color is not even around the corner, it's here. I mean, Pocketbook is going to be employing this in June or July. Onyx is right across the board, right around the corner. There's a couple other manufacturers that are using this technology already, like iFlyer, and Hisense already has two color e-ink phones. So hopefully this will give you a good idea of what is right for you. Now obviously this is an e-reader and this is a phone, so they're kind of apples and oranges, but it's amazing that we have enough color devices to actually compare them now in studio, in our hands. The color e-ink smartphone we'll start with. If you haven't seen our coverage, it is a smartphone through and through. You have flashlight, auto rotate, you can put a SIM card in here, obviously it's a phone. You have Bluetooth, you have everything a smartphone would ever need. You have everything a smartphone has. You have speakers, you have a front camera, a rear camera. Everything is on this phone, and it is a cell phone for all intents and purposes. The only difference is it's not running an LCD LED screen. It is an e-ink screen. You have a couple modes to change from clear mode to smooth mode, making the device extremely snappy, but making the device look a little worse. Or you can change it to clear mode, which really makes it look HD, but the device is slow in turn. That's how they allow you to get a good experience. This can do everything. You can go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want. This device, however, the iReader, is one of the first e-readers that are in color. However, it's very restrictive. It is in Chinese only, number one. You don't have access to go to any URL you want, any website you want. You can only exist in the Baidu interface, which is very restrictive. However, you can sideload in any content you want on this device. Like our number one go-to, the baseball PDF. We use this across all devices, whether it's a regular smartphone, a Kindle. We use it on everything because it keeps this constant. Everything changes around it, the device, the screen, etc. This is what the two color devices are looking like side by side. We've had a lot of people complain that this glow light is getting in the way, but you'll see why we keep it on, because when you turn it off, it's very, very hard to see, and this is the reality of this device. It's a very reflective surface. You can see me in the reflection here, because not only is the screen protector reflective, you have been telling us to take it off, but that doesn't do anything because the device's screen glass is reflective as well. So that's why we keep the color on, the glow light on a little bit, because it actually softens the reflectivity and makes the colors more vibrant. That's why we leave it on. It doesn't look very good with it off. You'll see this side by side. These are what the two devices look like. And color is very important because in the past, obviously if you've been following e-ink, it is only black and white. You don't have any colors on these devices. These are color. So as you zoom in and as you examine things, you can see reds, you can see whites, blacks, obviously all your grayscale elements, but all the colors as well. And that's the obvious advantage of using color. So this is a real life test of what the devices are going to look like. They both offer color in a different way. You can see, for example, the iReader is more vivid, but this is more saturated. It's very muted. You can see the red here. You can almost tell his beige skin tone here, whereas this almost looks black and white. It isn't because his hat's blue, his little C is red, etc. But this is just giving you guys a good idea because both of these devices are kind of out and about in the world of being reviewed, being sold, depending on the market. This is what your choices are going to look like. This is a phone, so you're going to get more of a multimedia first experience. You have decent audio. You're going to be able to watch your videos on YouTube and stuff like that. This device is very locked down. You can't navigate outside of the Baidu experience. Everything's in Chinese, and it's not really readily available overseas yet. We are trying our best to get this device to everyone who wants one because we feel that just because it's in Chinese doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to have access to it. But this is what the two devices are going to look like. You can see it's very flashy and refreshy, and this is because we're on clear mode. If we do change it into smooth mode, you can see how much better it gets. because that's the beauty of smooth mode, or A2 mode, so to speak. You get that fluidity, you get that inertia, you can pinch and zoom much better, etc. So you do have a lot of advantages in that regard. And on the iReader, you do get this little side button that you can press, and then you can go into its own kind of A2 mode. As you go down, the faster the device gets, but the worse it looks. This gives you a much better experience. A lot of devices call this A2 mode or speed mode to give you a really good power delivery, but it makes the actual image a little bit grainy, and this is to reduce refreshes and to allow things to become more smooth. On the phone, it's not too crucial how it looks reading because you're not going to primarily use this device for reading. However, on the e-reader itself, it is kind of important what the contrast looks like and everything. And that's why it's good that they didn't go with a flush screen and bezel that's super reflective. Because as you see here, even in the bottom here, you can see my hand. Here you can't see anything because it's not reflective. And this is the same shot, even though they both do bring to the table different things. And of course, this you can sideload in your own applications, meaning you can use any reading app you want. Whereas the iReader is stuck with this Baidu engine reading service. So even if you go here over to the encyclopedia, you do get directed to the Baidu website, in which case you can't navigate out of it, and a lot of the times web pages don't even work. However, when it comes down to it, the sole purposes of these devices, the main draw, the main selling point, is color. And does it display color properly? Yes, it does. Does it display it well? Yes, it does. You have a plethora of modes to choose from. You have speed mode, you have quality mode, smooth mode, and clear mode on here. It does a good job showing what it needs to show, showing the colors, how vivid they look, and we do have individual reviews on both of these devices. So if you're wondering if we've skipped over everything, the answer is yes, we've skipped over a lot of things. These both have a lot of merits to their own devices and then in their own regard. We would have to say though, pound for pound, the iReader is just using a better screen and it's more vivid. Everything seems a little bit washed out on the Hisense, although it does run color just pretty fine. Now that is to say there's not too much basis of comparison because color hasn't really existed for a long time. We've seen color way back in 2011 and 2012, but it really wasn't that great. This is worlds above that in both speed and quality and vividness. So I hope this really sheds some light on color devices, and if you guys are thinking about color devices, more specifically phones versus dedicated e-readers, which direction you're going to go in. This is the Hisense A5C versus the iReader C6 color e-reader. For GoodyReader.com, this is Peter.